There are many documented evidences of people hearing divine words from God regarding leadership of nations. Through the making of this movie, we've heard numerous stories relating to the name Donald Trump. Today we're listening to one story, a story of a man's journey, his brokenness, and his healing that led to a movement of prayer across our nation.
My name is Stefan Schultze, and I'm one of the producers and the director of the film. The film is about a fireman who, in the process of dealing with PTSD that he gets while on the job, decides that he really has a lot of difficulty moving on with the journey of his career because he runs into a young boy who doesn't make it out of a fire one night, and it really is an unsettling moment for him.
My name is Chris Nelson, and I'm playing Mark Taylor. Mark was a guy that served the fire station, did his career, was great at it. Whatever the emotions are, whatever the actions that he's been going through for the last 20 years, they seem to catch up with him. Then you've also got this spiritual war that seems to be going. And then he gets this word about, a businessman becoming a president, 5 years before he even does become president or even declares to run. So it's not so much about Trump, it's more about him hearing from the Lord.
Hi, I'm Karen Bowles, and I'm playing Mary Jo Taylor. A lot of what we're shooting this week is in the Den, so it's in Mark and Mary Jo's home, and it's a lot of time because we're shooting things by location and not in order, so we're kind of bouncing back and forth in time throughout the story. And then we got to go to Smith Mountain Lake yesterday, which was beautiful. It's a little chilly in the morning, but we filmed Mark and Mary Jo when she was on vacation, and she took 2 weeks off so they could spend some time together. So we were playing Frisbee and we were fishing. We weren't fishing for real. No fish were harmed in the making of this. No fish. He's struggling a little bit. He still hasn't decided if he's going to retire or if he's going to go back to the fire department. So it's like, is this a temporary break? Is this, am I going to use up some vacation time, or am I just going to retire?
I think Mary Jo is a very supportive spouse. I know in my own life, my wife, Lori, is probably the greatest gift that God's ever given me on this earth, is to have that partnership, that physical connection. I think everybody goes through dips and valleys and, rises to the top. And I think that partner that's always there when you're down or up, Mary was there, even when she wasn't even early on understanding what he was going through, and thought, well, maybe this is all just in his head and he's making stuff up. And, she just walked through that with him, supported him in that. And whatever his journey was, she was going to help him see through to the healing process and to the end.
What does it mean to be a good wife? Well, everybody points to Proverbs 31 as kind of the gold standard of what a great wife should be. And it gives us a framework of what we can strive for, but it doesn't tell us we have to be perfect. It's a partnership. It's being there. It's providing support. It's pouring yourself into another person and really serving their needs, and at the same time, they're pouring back into you so that you're never really empty.
1 Chronicles 29:11 and 12 says, "Everything in the heavens and earth are yours, O Lord, and this is your kingdom. We adore you as being in control of everything. Riches and honor come from you alone, for you're the ruler of all mankind, and your hand controls power and might. It's at your discretion that men are made great and given strength." We are a divided nation, and we're a divided world. But if we truly believe that God is in control, as Chronicles just stated, then we have a mandate. We have a mandate to pray for those in leadership over us and for the healing of our nations.
Well, one of the greatest joys of my life is not just to make movies. One of my greatest joys of my life is to see the light bulbs go off in students and see new filmmakers start their journey. Liberty's given me an amazing opportunity to start a film school here. God's blessed it immensely. I get emails from students that are out working, telling me where they are and what they're doing. And, I remember the first school I started, the first time we sat in a darkened room and they were showing their short films, and our frustrations you might experience as a filmmaker, or the jaded sensibilities you get as you get older in your career, all dissipated. And it was just such an overwhelming joy. It reminded me why I went into storytelling the first time.
How is it to work on set with students? Honestly, I was just talking to my co-star Karen Bowles. First of all, incredible group of people who seem to be smiling more often than anything else, which is very unusual on a film set, I'm telling you. there's a lot of complaining and moaning a lot of times, and I'm sure there's privately some of that happening. But just, because that's what happens. But honestly, one thing I will say, first of all, is the students have an incredible attitude. And I would say majority of the time show great work ethic, and they understand what they're doing. They're out there doing it. The second thing I'd say is it's great to see them asking questions. It's great to see them learning. I also teach. I also am a professor too, so I understand the importance of making mistakes and learning from those failures. I learned from failures on this set. I learned from mistakes that I made as an actor.
I love working with students. They're great. They have tons of energy. So that's always helpful on a film shoot because we have long days. But they've been so hardworking and inquisitive and really, really respectful, and they are learning different departments, which I know they're not always in the position that they necessarily want to go into, but they're really open to learning new things and to learning from the department heads. And they all have these incredible stories that they're working on that are theirs, just through school and projects, and because they want to be storytellers. And I've had the experience of several of them coming to me and just having conversations where they told me about projects that they were working on or stories that they had. And that was really special for me to hear that from this kind of next generation of filmmakers that's coming up.
It's a small part. It takes faculty and staff and parents and brothers and sisters and friends. It's not just one thing, but to be a small part of that experience and be alongside them and watch them and see them get a skill set that's actually going to get them a job when they get out of here I can't even describe the amount of rewards I gained from that experience.
After the movie, we're going to hear some marketplace leaders and some world leaders talking about things that are going on in our world today and giving us a better insight as to how to pray. For now, enjoy the movie.